So, Nick, we had 3 Marvel movies this year. We started out with good old Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Then we had Thor Love and Thunder, and then most recently Wakanda Forever. But, Multiverse of Madness, that was a certain kind of disappointing that I haven't felt in a bit.
How so?
Because it started out Scott Derrickson directing.
Yep.
And gonna be the first scary MCU movie.
Ooh, I was so excited for that.
Yeah, and like the name was cool, and it really felt like it was gonna capitalize on Doctor Strange, like the weird part of it that the first movie really didn't do anything with. And I was all for it, you know. And coming out after Endgame, this is gonna be cool. And then apparently all this behind the scenes shit went down. Scott Derrickson had to step out, and they put Sam Raimi in, which also was very exciting at the time. Like, wow, Sam Raimi's coming back to do a Marvel hero. Like, I love the Spider-Man trilogy. The Raimi trilogy is very defining for me as a person a movie person, or just a person in general. Very influential. And then the movie came out, and it really just seemed like it dropped the ball on all the promises, on all these exciting setups. You know, it was coming after WandaVision, it was coming after No Way Home, like all these really exciting things, and it just didn't do it. It didn't do it for me. What were your thoughts on it?
I agree with that, because Multiverse of Madness, when it was announced, it was kind of like, it was at a time when it was like, okay, is Marvel over? Like, what's it gonna do now? And it also kind of seemed like this is gonna be an experimental time for the MCU right now.
It was exciting.
Exactly, it was exciting, and like even with the WandaVision show, I remember that first still. It was a black and white TV show sitcom, and I was at a point in my life where I was like, I want to see like different types of like superhero media. It doesn't always need to be the same thing, you know. Like, you know, you could have a movie where it's like this or like that or whatever. So like with the WandaVision thing, I was that black and white like 50s TV show thing. I was like, okay, maybe rein it back in a little bit. But when Scott Derrickson was like, yeah, this is going to be the first MCU horror movie, I was excited because I like it when movies, you know, I like when movies like take it there and they don't like sugarcoat anything, and they don't like kind of like tiptoe around stuff. And so an MCU horror movie, that was very, very exciting to me. And then, yeah, I was like, oh, you know, creative differences, which I think also around that time, like I keep hearing that phrase. Whenever a director leaves, it's always creative differences, and it kind of seemed like that was just going on a lot. And then, Sam Raimi came on, and that was it. I wasn't upset with it, but it was like, this seems kind of weird, because also like you pulled one guy out because, oh, we're Disney, we don't want to do a horror movie, but then you put Sam Raimi in there, who, unless I'm mistaken, kind of came to prominence because of movies like the movies from the Evil Dead franchise, which, you know, yeah, but, and also it's like, you got the Spider-Man guy to do Doctor Strange. I don't necessarily know about all of that, but then it came out, and I remember all of those like rumors and theories, like, man, Nightmare's gonna be the villain, and da-da-da-da-da, and then it was like, no, it's gonna tie in with like WandaVision and da-da-da, and like it was straight like the movie itself, I think you watch, you can have a good time and it's fine, but it's odd because when you start kind of picking it apart and like, well, wait a second, if that happens, then this and that, then it's like the movie kind of falls apart basically.
Yeah.
When you start putting everything together. And even like aside from that, like I think I would have just done this differently in general.
Wasn't it also supposed to come out before Spider-Man No Way Home? Or am I
I think it was, yeah, because I know COVID had fucked up a lot of the release dates, the original release dates.
Okay.
Because I think America Chavez was going to be in No Way Home also.
Ooh, that movie dodged a bullet.
Yeah, because it was gonna. I think it was gonna have her. I think like help out with with the multiversal stuff because she can like travel between them, and
she was a big factor for me in not liking Multiverse of Madness.
like I like the character and like the power set. I think it was just like how she was written. Oh yeah, because when you go to another planet, rule number one, you always gotta know if things are free or not. Like these little pizza balls, they're free here, and then oh no, they're not free. It's like where did how did you fuck that up? Like you're the one that created this rule.
No, she said rule number one of multiversal travel is like don't assume you know anything. And then she
assumes that she knows something.
She went on to say like most universes food is free. And so it's like, okay, you're just assuming.
Yeah, why did she think that? Why did she think in this particular universe, why did she think the food was free? Like I don't know how she and it's a nitpick, yes, but like how did you like miss that?
I mean, my guess is
because you fucked up a man's life. America Chavez. She fucked up the Pizza Papa's life for 3 weeks.
This was my first introduction to America Chavez.
Me too.
Oh, you too. Mm-hmm. And yes, the writing was god awful, and because the writing was god awful, I just associate this character with god awful writing, so I can't stand her really. Like I think this also kind of stems to just how I would have done Multiverse of Madness. Mm-hmm. I think it came out after No Way Home, and I think that's fine. I think it really would have been cool if it kind of capitalized on that. Because in No Way Home, Doctor Strange, he fucked everything up. Like, yes, Peter was the one who distracted him, blah, blah, blah. But it was his magic that ultimately, ruined Peter's life and also fractured the multiverse to such a terrible degree.
He's like, you're just a kid. Why did you let him do this?
Yeah. He forgets Peter, and Multiverse of Madness happens. And I think it would have been interesting if they had kept Wanda as as an antagonist, but also have it to be where maybe the movie starts out, no America Chavez. I would not have her in the movie, at all.
Okay.
Just give her her own show, don't put her in this movie, basically. I thought, wouldn't it be interesting, movie starts out, Doctor Strange is just doing his thing, maybe he is upset, his love interest is getting married to someone else. I would have that stay, but I wouldn't have, him try to romance her in another multiverse or anything. I would like him to just be, very melancholic, very depressed at the beginning, this shit sucks, I hate this.
Yeah, have him be basically like a monk about it.
Yeah,
that's another issue that I have with the Stephen Strange character in the MCU, because the first movie, his whole thing was you're selfish and you can't be because there's the bigger picture out there, and then he does that and he's like, what, I'm not gonna fix my hands, I'm gonna go forward as this heroic figure. Mm-hmm. And then every movie after that he's just the same Stephen Strange, hasn't changed, and that was why I think that was partially why they put him and Iron Man in so many scenes together in Infinity War, because it's let's have the two top dogs, the two top narcissists in this universe clash heads. But would he be a narcissist after the first Doctor Strange movie? Because that was a whole thing. That's why she said it isn't about you, and that was a lesson that he had to learn. So it seems weird to me that they keep kind of hearkening back to that. Doctor Strange is the most dangerous person in the multiverse because he can't kind of see past his own bullshit and da. Because even the What If show was there was an episode where he fucked up the whole universe because it was this thing that he wanted and he couldn't get it, so he was like, I'm gonna break all the rules so that I can get it. But that's a what if, that's a Elseworlds. I kind of get that, but it still is it's y'all keep writing him the same, and it's that's just something I would change.
Well, they keep writing him the same, except for in Multiverse of Madness, where he just becomes this like generic, nice guy. It seems,
and I don't
like
that
that
either. I liked it a lot in funnily enough in Infinity War when he was like, if I have to let you or Spider-Man die to protect the stone, like I will do it. So I like, again, that whole kind of like, he's not like a quote unquote superhero. I like that aspect about him. I like it was like, like I can make the hard choices because it will serve the greater good. I like that. But yeah, the generic good guy, like you just said, I wasn't vibing with it. It just felt too easy.
So yeah, no. I agree. I would have the girl, his love interest, still get married to someone else. But I wouldn't make like a big thing of it, like him going to the wedding and things like that. Or maybe he does go to the wedding, but I wouldn't do it like how they did it. Basically, I would have it be more somber, and he doesn't know. He forgot about the whole Peter incident, so he doesn't know about like him fracturing the multiverse. So when Wanda starts to do her thing, maybe he's trying to stop her, and he inadvertently like starts traveling the multiverse with her, like trying to stop her and things like that. And maybe he just starts witnessing, he's traveling the multiverse, going after Wanda, and he just starts witnessing all this terror and destruction that she's causing, or that all these alternate scenarios in that he's aware of. Like he starts going through these different worlds, and he sees like the different choices he could have made, and how all this destruction is so easily capable. And I thought, like, wouldn't it be cool if, because of his traveling the multiverse and witnessing all this like terror, because he's going after Wanda, if by the end of the movie he's like, okay, the universes are so fragile, things can break so easy, I need to form a group bigger than S.H.I.E.L.D., bigger than S.W.O.R.D., that can call the shots when they need to be called. And he forms the Illuminati.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the Defenders.
No. Okay. What if like his initiative at the end of the movie is, okay, I need to step up. Like he's not the generic good guy in Multiverse of Madness. He's still kind of the narcissist. Like, I need to protect. I can do it. I will be the leader of this underground thing. And I'll call it the Illuminati or some shit.
I like that a lot. Jeez Louise. I like that a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I was really disappointed with the Illuminati we got in the Multiverse of Madness.
And yeah, because like there was something I want to say, but I might come back to it later. Like it was cool to see like the Illuminati, air quotes, but it was still like, I feel like each and every one of y'all is kind of just setting up another movie, because you have the spoilers, you got the Patrick Wilson, Professor Xavier, and it's like, well, yeah, because we know. Stewart. Oh, Patrick Stewart, Professor Xavier. Thank you. But because we know mutants are coming through. You have
John Krasinski,
Mr. Fantastic, which is like it's cool, and like it was a lot of people were like fan casting him. The suit was kind of boring, and then he turned into spaghetti, and then you had that was kind of wild to me though. I will like after Black Bolt died, I was like, nobody here is fucking safe. She was like, what mouth? And then I was like, I know exactly what's about to happen next. And then I liked how Black Bolt died probably the most, because that was the first time I was like, oh shit. And then like when Reed Richards died, it was like oh no, like it was like, it's okay, cool that like they're like all of y'all are just here to die. Like it's just this is just fan service.
They were taken out so easy, and I get that Scarlet Witch is powerful, but come on.
Yeah, like the way Peggy Carter died, yeah, sure, fuck it. But when that version of Captain Marvel died,
a fucking statue falls on her.
I was like, you telling me this motherfucker didn't kill Thanos?
She travels through space. She fucking flies through ships. And a statue kills her?
That was probably the most disrespectful death I think I'd ever seen.
And I think it was the last one, too.
Even Professor Xavier's death. It's like, what?
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Actually, maybe Professor Xavier's was the last death.
His was still kind of whack. I'm like, dang, bro, you couldn't do nothing?
Yeah.
Nothing, bro?
Yeah. No, the Illuminati was really just a joke. And I really... It just... Because I've heard so much about the Illuminati and the incursion storyline and how they call the shots when no one else will.
I will say, though, when they mentioned incursions, I was hyped because I had been telling you this for at least like a few months. Like, bro, like
Years.
if they did the incursion storyline since college, dude, I'm like, if they did the incursion storyline, because that was like that was a big deal to me. Like the first time I heard about it, and then like I learned like more and more about what was going on. It's like, wow, this would be like really, really fucking cool, man. Like, oh my gosh.
I would love it if this movie, okay, Doctor Strange, traveling multiverse, decides to make the Illuminati, and then Doctor Strange 3 is the incursion storyline. Like, this is his new group, and maybe this would happen like phase 6 or something, like way down the line. But this is his group. He has assembled like the elite superheroes, and this is like their big thing.
Yeah.
Cause and I think I would also tie it back to like the No Way Home thing. Maybe the incursions, you start to find out the incursions began to set in motion because of No Way Home. And then there's this big reveal like in Doctor Strange 3 where they're trying to find out, why is this happening? Like, oh, this magic happened once in 2025. Like, what magic? I was there. I didn't see anything, or I didn't sense anything. Doctor Strange, it was you.
Fucking Uatu the Watcher's there, and he's like, come on, man. Don't act like you didn't know you did this shit.
And then maybe it sets up like, okay, this grand sacrifice. I set this in motion. I'm going to stop it. I will call the shot to destroy this one, or all the responsibility is on me, and I will accept that, or something like that. Because Doctor Strange, I feel like he can handle that weight, that responsibility.
Yeah. Doctor Strange feels like the type to me to not think twice about killing himself to save everybody.
And he doesn't. In Multiverse of Madness, one of his variants does that. Like for Thanos, when he was like, okay, I'll embrace the Darkhold to save everyone, but you must kill me afterwards.
Man, fuck that version of the Illuminati. Because that was always some like just... Like, he's like, in every single multiverse, the biggest threat is always you, our friend, Doctor Strange. I'm like, bro, how would you know that? Every single multiverse, and like the one that y'all killed, that was your friend. Like, yes, he was doing shit with the Darkhold, but it was like, man,
is he really a threat if he gets rid of this huge enemy and then just lets himself be caught and die?
He volunteered that information to you guys. Like, listen, guys, I know this was a no, but I did use the Darkhold. And also, it's like, he did it to save Thanos. And it worked.
Kill Thanos.
Oh, did I say save Thanos?
Yeah.
He did it to kill Thanos, like, and it worked, and then y'all punished him for it.
Exactly.
So that was always just like real. And then y'all like, oh, the world needs a hero. Like, yeah, because y'all fucking killed him. You feel me? So, and then like fucking Chiwetel Ejiofor's character was like, I'm the new Sorcerer Supreme. Even that was a little. I didn't like that it was a variant. I didn't like that it was not the original version, because ever since the first Doctor Strange, I was thinking it seemed like Doctor Strange Part 2 is gonna be like, okay, we have to stop Mordor because he's killing all the sorcerers and stuff like that. And they not only did they skip over that, but they did it in a way that I can barely even comprehend. Y'all didn't have it be the original. So okay, fuck it. Here's what I would have done, like with that character. At the end, he has his end credit scene in Doctor Strange, and then we meet up with them again in Multiverse of Madness. But you have it where he is the 616 Baron Mordo, and the reason he's here is because it wasn't enough for him to just like try to kill all the sorcerers on Earth, he decided to travel the multiverse to get to like the deeper root of the issue maybe, and then he kind of just found himself here. So then when they're fighting, it's like, man, I can't believe this is actually, you know, the one from 616, and it would have more weight to it. I feel it would be a little bit more interesting, other than just them implying like, oh, he always wanted to be Sorcerer Supreme, so he was kind of happy that that version of Doctor Strange died. And I don't know if that was actually the case, but they brought it up, and then I don't remember him really denying it, or at least even significantly denying it. So in my head, on some level, that is true. Like, you were just jealous of that version. It's like, I don't like that, because also, like, it kind of implies that the Illuminati would just let anybody onto the fucking team. Like, bro. And but I think if I were gonna do like kind of this movie in a different way, I'm not mad at the America Chavez character. Like, yes, she was written kind of whack at times, but she's probably not going to be in my version of it, just because I don't know like how to fit her in. But
I would fit her into a more like younger movie, not a Doctor Strange movie. At least as young and like goofy as she was. Like, she wasn't, you know, cartoony, but she was, you know, cracking jokes that weren't landing, and she just wasn't the best actress either, and her writing was just lame.
You know what you could do? You could introduce her like a Spider-Man. If they did like a live action Spider-Verse movie, and I don't know, like her and Peter had some sort of interaction in a previous movie or something like that, and it's like, hey, there's all these, you know, like fucking, I think his name was like Morlun. He came from a group and he's killing all the Spider-Men across the multiverse, and I need your help to travel the multiverse to help me protect everybody. If it was like that, sure, because also, you know, like they're both young, so I feel like they could both play off of each other like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
But I'm kind of thinking, what if they had it where this does take place after WandaVision? So WandaVision, or Wanda is still kind of, like, she's not like quite the Scarlet Witch, but she's in a rough place after the end of that series, and there's weird shit going on, very demonic, scary, evil shit going on, and Doctor Strange is like, you know, like, I need your help and to help fight off against this threat. And you know, you could have the whole, okay, like, why me? And he's like, you're magic, no one else in the Avengers is, like, you know, let's go, and like, I really, really need your help. And you know, like, maybe they're traveling the multiverse or something like that. But it's you know, it's more of like a horror movie. You find out the main villain is Nightmare, because that was a I don't remember if it was just a theory or if it was fact that he initially was going to be the villain for Doctor Strange 2, but just have it be Nightmare. And he's kind of like the, at least how I would do it, like, he's kind of like the Sandman. He's like one of the endless. He exists kind of outside of everything. And it's like he really, really kind of got a lot more powerful, because after the blip, everybody in the universe was just so scared and so afraid, and there was just all this bad energy everywhere. So he was like, I'm feeding on that, and like da 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 da. And I don't know, maybe like Mephisto's there, or maybe Nightmare is Mephisto, or he's working for him, or something like that. I don't know. I feel like you could do some crossover with that. And yeah, so then they have to like fight him, and you know, you could even have a scene where Nightmare is like, hey, you know, I might have found like another universe you can do what your kids want, and it's kind of like that. And like Dr. Shade is like, okay, Wanda, fucking relax. You know?
Yeah, maybe Nightmare knows, like, if he lets her into the multiverse, more fear will spread. So he's like trying to goad her on.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. And then, you know, you have like your final battle at the end, and because he's Nightmare, I don't feel like he would really be defeated like that, just the type of character that he is. But yada yada, the movie ends, but it ends with Scarlet Witch still kind of excuse me. It ends with Wanda still basically on the road to becoming the Scarlet Witch. So she helps to like defeat him, but it's still like all of the grief and stuff that she has. It's still there. And he's like, Wanda, you don't have to do this or whatever. She's like goodbye. She leaves, and then there'd be like some other Scarlet Witch solo project where she's more or less the version of the character that we saw in Multiverse of Madness, where she is a lot dark, and then like maybe that's Doctor Strange 3 or something like that, or Avengers or something like that. I don't know. Where it's like we all have to like kind of team up to stop her because like shit is popping off again. And then it could have deeper repercussions in the overall, based on in the overall like MCU, where it's like, man, all this weird supernatural scary shit is happening a lot more frequently than it did even in the past. And it would lead into the other movies and blah blah blah. Everything's all scary and uncertain, but also like a little bit more comic booky and stuff like that. Da 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 da.
I would also get rid of Charlize Theron's character cameo that they fucking threw in at the last minute, it seems, in Multiverse.
I would either get rid of her or just have her actually need to be in the main plot of this movie, like yeah, maybe she's like an ally or something like that they come across. And
okay, maybe it would be interesting, like going back to my pitch where he's going through all these different universes. It'd be interesting if he keeps running into this one variant of Charlize Theron like consistently, and he's like, who are you? Like he's never met her before in his universe. Who she's the daughter of someone.
She's Dormammu's niece.
Okay. Would she have variants, or is there only one of her?
I feel like there would be variants, but I don't know.
I'm just gonna assume there are variants of her. So yeah, he keeps like coming across her, and maybe in each one she has some sort of history with him that he is just unaware of, and maybe that could be setting up for Doctor Strange 3 something. But I really dislike how they threw her in.
Had her looking like a Power Rangers character.
Just the colors were so bad, and it was just so corny, especially coming after the last shot of the movie where he's screaming with his third eye opening.
Oh yeah.
And then it just cuts to him meeting her.
I liked that scene because it's like
I was fine with it until the fucking mid-roll credits scene. It's like, okay, that just gets rid of all the tension and intrigue you set up.
Cause also with that like third eye scene, I like that Doctor Strange seems to be moving in a darker place.
Potentially, yeah.
And hopefully they really, because one thing I would want to do with the Doctor Strange movies is like in the comics recently I've seen he's been doing stuff like, yes, it's to defeat the villain, but you're kind of like crossing a line. Like there was a comic, I think it was to defeat like World War Hulk or something like that. Sometime in the past he had lost a lot of his powers, so he basically sold his soul to get all those powers back. But it's like, this is probably gonna come back to like bite you in the ass, because like you're kind of doing like, again, demonic shit. Even though it is to like save the world, you're still crossing the line. I think that's kind of what they were doing with the whole like third eye ending, and with him like teaming up with Dormammu's niece. Like, yeah, let's go do this. But again, it's like, okay, where is it? So yeah, like I kind of like where it seems like they're going, but how they're doing it a little bit, I'm not totally on board with.
Yeah, I agree. And so going forward, who do you think directing wise? Because Scott Derrickson is out. I personally wouldn't get Sam Raimi back to do another Doctor Strange movie. Who do you think directing wise could handle like a Doctor Strange that we're pitching?
Oh man, well that's tough because he or she would have to work within the whole like Disney framework.
I mean, people can do it, but who? Let's think.
Because one idea I had is like if you were just gonna do, it's a Doctor Strange movie, but it's not tied to like any of the continuities that we've seen so far. Definitely not Disney. Maybe like an A24 type feel, but I don't know how that would work.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Robert Eggers, that could be like interesting. But that would be like, that would be horrific.
What about the dude who did Skyfall?
Sam Mendes?
Yeah.
Maybe, because I've only seen Skyfall.
You saw Spectre.
Yeah, well, I've only seen his James Bond movies, so I'm like, I haven't seen anything outside of that.
He did 1918. That was fantastic. But it is kind of left field, I feel. And it's not a bad thing, but okay. Hear me out. Gore Verbinski.
Okay, interesting. Not mad at that.
Did the best Pirates trilogy, and I personally really liked The Cure for Wellness, or A Cure for Wellness.
I was even thinking like Guillermo del Toro.
Ooh, get some Hellboy vibes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then you could roll Hellboy into the MCU.
Like they've always planned.
It's so easy, Marvel. Guillermo del Toro for me.
Who directed Terminator Salvation?
McG.
Why does it sound familiar?
Because he also did Charlie's Angels.
Never mind. Yeah, also with Gore Verbinski, and you said Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah. Hey, Terminator 4 was fucking dope.
Yeah, okay. I think those are good picks.
But yeah. Do it like that, and
I think they just need a course correct a little. I don't think they're woefully off track. I think it was just like, okay, you had a weak middle chapter. I think you can still finish strong if you gain some focus and relocate the character, because I feel like he's gotten lost recently. The Doctor Strange persona.
Yeah.
With No Way Home, I liked him in No Way Home, but I think that was the start of it.
In No Way Home, like, yeah, he was cool, but he was kind of weird to me.
A little bit.
Why? And I get now, like, he was really eager to help out the kid because he kind of felt bad for him, or the kid, Spider-Man, because he felt bad for him, and also as a 16-year-old. As a 16-year-old child,
as a 16-year-old himself, he could really sympathize.
No, yeah, as a 16-year-old, this kid like understood the whole bigger picture. Like, this thing is not affecting me; it's affecting the people around me. And so, as someone pointed out, that probably reminded Doctor Strange of when the Ancient One told him it's not about you, it's about like everything else. So I think that's also why. But in the movie, it didn't really come across like that to me, and he still was acting weird. Like, he wasn't acting like how Doctor Strange typically acts. So, because in the trailer, I thought that was Mephisto.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I was like, that's not him. Because also, like, all this shit, like, yeah, he's manipulating him. Like, I'm gonna fuck up the multiverse and blame it on you, and then like dip.
That'd be cool.
Because also everybody in season 4, everybody thought that Mephisto was doing some shit everybody thought that Mephisto was involved.
Season 4?
In phase 4, damn. I'm sorry, it's been a long fucking week. Yeah, in phase 4, like, everybody was like, oh, is this Mephisto? Is this Mephisto? They thought he was going to be the main villain in Loki and in WandaVision and in No Way Home, bro.
I wonder why they haven't done him.
They're going to do him in Ironheart, apparently.
Ironheart?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But even that seems weird. Like, Iron Man Jr.'s villain is going to be Mephisto?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like Ant-Man getting Kang.
When I first heard that, I was all the way not on board, because just how I look at Ant-Man and how I look at the character Kang, I'm like, man, whatever. But the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm with that.
Trailer looks good. Maybe one theory I have is maybe they're getting these bigger villains to give to these lesser known heroes to kind of raise them up. You know, that's a possibility I could see. Give them some more importance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just give him a good story, man. But also, I am wondering, like, is this like the Kang, or is this just one of his variants?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean? Because, like, he does look a lot more like him, because he's got the lines going down the face and he's gonna have the blue over it. But it's still like, this is Ant-Man.
Yeah.
So I don't know about all that.
Yeah, so that's how we would do Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and kind of just Doctor Strange in general.
Yeah.
I think it's only just starting to lose his way. There's an easy way back. Just make his next project be a little bit more focused, a little bit more darker, heavier.
Also, change up his costume, because it's kind of whack to me.
And Nick requests a costume change. Kevin Feige, get on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's it for this headcanon. Tune in next time as we talk about other things.
Yo. Tune in next time as we talk about headcanon.
Peace out.
Bye.